All right, what's good, people? We're doing a special crypto bloodbath off the chain episode tonight. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm in the chat room, looking at everyone in there. We got Carlitos, Wade, Joe Marshall. We got John Hill. He says $1.99, Bitcoin $1.99. Dolphin 134 AZ Night Force. What's good, baby? Misinformation. How's everyone doing tonight? And I've also got someone already on the line. I got my man Chaos on the line. We're going to talk to him, guys, in a second. Can you guys hear me all right? Here, let me get this chat room going so you guys can see this on the screen, and we're gonna get started here if I can. There we go. Boom. All right, so let me get Joe Marshall. You can go ahead, and if you want to get in queue, you can. I'm gonna talk to Chaos for a second from the web bot room. So let's go ahead and plug him in. Chaos, what's good, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. What's going on with you?
Not too much, man. It's been a crazy day for many.
Yeah, I seen it when I got off work. I was happy. I was happy about it. I didn't expect it, but when I saw it, I went on Cash App and bought me some Bitcoin right quick.
Okay. Where did you end up getting in?
I think it was around about, I think it was at the 10% drop because I had bought some last night on Cash App and I bought some Vertcoin. And so when I got off work, I looked at it again and I went and bought some more Vertcoin. So it was at the bottom though, right before everything started went back on the green for the for the 24 hour.
Mm-hmm.
No, for the 1 hour. Yeah, everything went back up green for the 1 hour. I didn't check it again, but that's what I really wanted. I'm actually happy for the drop because I want to get my Bitcoin and these other altcoins back up right quick.
So where do you think the bottom? You think we got the bottom in, or you think we're gonna head lower?
I don't know. I listen to guys like you and Brandon Kelly to tell me that. I don't know. You know.
Okay.
I'm a construction worker. I don't get into it. I like it.
He said I'm a construction worker. All right. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Was there anything, before we kind of get started, was there anything you wanted to kind of discuss that you want to kind of get out there, talk about?
No, I just called in because I didn't want to get up on YouTube because I was actually reading a book. So I was just calling in, you know what I'm saying, just to listen to it so I don't have to look at it on YouTube, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, man, I think, today, as you've probably been following me, you knew my sentiments about us and that trend line that we broke above, but we kept coming back down toward. I didn't feel confident that we would make a move higher. And I think we were at the end of that pennant and we had to make a decision. Joe Marshall, I think he's going to be on the line here in a second. He's from, I don't know if he's in the web bot room, but he's definitely on Twitter. He does a lot of TA analysis and stuff like that. And he's got some charts that we're going to look at shortly. But yeah, man, I actually think this is a major move to the downside. And I'm not confident that we've seen the lows here, honestly. And to be honest with you, I think that the altcoins are going to get hurt even more. So if people are holding altcoins, it's going to get ugly. With the exception, I mean, EOS, you're going to lose money with EOS as well. But if I don't know if you recall, I did a video highlighting that EOS was the of the top 10 or 15 coins, was the only one that hadn't lost the most. And I think hopefully we can still see that happen in this bloodbath that we're going to see. It's going to hit the altcoins for sure, even worse than it is right now, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's the same. A lot of the chart people I watch on my way to work in the morning. That's the same thing. A lot of them are saying. Even I forgot the other Tone Vase. He's been standing forever, and like I said, I like it though. It gave me a chance to get back into the Bitcoin because I had sold all of them, and
Yeah, Bitcoin is going to be the safe haven in my opinion, for sure. But that's, with that being said, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't go lower. I think it will. I think it's going to go lower. I think breaking that 59 area was critical. That was huge, man. And when I say huge, meaning huge from a bear perspective, I think we're going to see newer high, or at least getting back above 5,900 is going to be a stretch. I'll put it to you that way. It's going to be tough.
Well, let me ask you a question. If our God, aka the government, come through and bless us with the ETF, would that have a major effect on it? Would that change all the TA analysis you guys be doing?
Of course. So, TA only works when there's no FA in the way. Fundamental news always trumps technical analysis. But with that being said, these types of swings in the market are not good. Are not good for the case for an ETF. If the criteria by them was calmer markets, less volatility, so on and so forth. So I can't see them looking to pass an ETF anytime soon now, like for sure. So, my whole thing about February, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to be passed anytime soon, which, I don't care. I don't care about the ETF being passed, but I know many people were banking on that, and it would have been definitely a bullish catalyst, a bullish signal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
because I think last year I helped one of my friends. Well, he was an older guy. I think he's probably like 60 something. He didn't hear about Bitcoin from me, but he found out I knew about Bitcoin, and he dropped a fresh $100,000 into Bitcoin and some other altcoins that helped him get into. And ever since then, he's been sad, and I've been sad for him,
That's the tough thing, brother. That is the tough thing, because many people have been, getting their friends, their loved ones into the space, and think about that. Like, that's going to leave a long-lasting taste, a bad taste in people's mouths. So, us that are enthusiasts that love this space, we're used to it, or we're in it for the long run. But the people that got in 2017, by us, they're not coming back anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you gotta think about that. And it's gonna be a few years. It's gonna be a couple years before those individuals really start to turn back into the crypto space. That doesn't mean the institutional funds, I think, is going to start flowing in 2019. So I'm not saying that we don't have any bullish catalysts here. I think that's definitely one. The people in 2017 that got in then are burnt, and they're probably not going to return for some years now.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you one more question before I let you go. The institutions, I think I heard someone say that they may be buying, over the counter.
Mm-hmm. They are.
How does that work without them? I guess that's the whole purpose of the over the counter, without them having to move the market by buying that way.
Yeah. There's no price. So if you're buying over the counter, you won't see any price action from that, because think about it. If I've got a large lot of Bitcoin that I want to move into fiat, and I find someone that's looking to buy my Bitcoin, when we do that exchange, when they give me my fiat and I give them that Bitcoin, they're not going to turn around and sell that Bitcoin. They're buying to hold it. So there's literally no price action, with the exception of maybe them taking some of that Bitcoin and buying the altcoins. But we know that's not going to happen right now. You know, Bitcoin is a safe haven. So that's not going to happen.
So do they typically buy at market price, or is it a markup though?
Yeah, so it's going to be at a go ahead.
No, yeah, what I was saying is I can't imagine somebody selling the Bitcoin and not trying to make a profit off of it.
It's going to be at a discount, most likely, because the person selling it is most likely the one looking to offload it, and they know they can't get that certain price in the markets. Like if they were to go to the exchanges and try to unload $20 million worth of Bitcoin, $10 million worth of Bitcoin, they wouldn't be able to get a nice stable price. So they're going to sell it at a slight discount to entice those individuals with fiat to buy the Bitcoin.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right, then. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get on to it. I'll sit back here and I'll listen to the show while I scroll the interwebs.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling in, Chaos. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to the Bloodbath.
Oh man. Oh, it's continuing. Man, I got every tourniquet in the house on that arm. It's still bleeding.
Joe, Crypto Joe, what's going on, brother?
Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm amazed. And you know what, the gentleman that was just talking, yeah, I feel sorry. Going to have to go and see family. Last year at this time, man, I couldn't wait to get around the Thanksgiving table. And like I was telling you, that Jehovah's Witness came out and I was preaching about Bitcoin, cryptos, and everything. But man, I might be eating at the children's table this year.
Yeah, yeah. All the family members. The thing with me though, Joe, I've been trying to get my people, all the people I know, and if anyone's watching, they can attest to this. I've been trying to get them into cryptos, man, since at least 2014.
Yeah. Oh wow!
So they can't be too mad at me, but but there were some people that came late to the game asking me about it. And of course, I told him, yeah, you should definitely get into, at least look at it. I can't be a financial advisor, but, it's definitely something you should look into. And they're hurt, definitely. They're hurt.
Yeah. But, I think, long range, they can just kind of hide it, and if they're not, too bad off, I think we, whatever, can recover. And, it's just going to take a little bit longer than we thought. The reason why, in all seriousness now, the reason why I was really shocked and amazed we had that big dump today was that one of those charts I put on Twitter right under your announcement about the live stream tonight. Since June 10th, we held that 5850. There's a yellow highlighted area. And since June, it's been, except for a couple of minor breakouts, it's been pretty like a lever, almost, parallel there for the last 5 months or so. And then, and one of the reasons, and you guys talked about it earlier, I was thinking really there was institutional accumulation, especially around the last 3-4 months. The last 3 months, it's been really tight ranged, and we kept putting those, wedges on there, wedges and wedges. And the reason why I say that is that, I don't know. I just bought into the theory, with all the, back coming on supposedly December 12th and this exchange, that exchange, Wall Street getting involved, the different universities, making investments that, they were going to hold it steady, make it look good, for the Securities Exchange or whoever, blesses, the ETS, et cetera, make it look real good through at least the first quarter of, next year.
Yeah, so
And
that brings up a good point,
Yeah.
Joe. How do you feel about this price action, and what does the impact of this look like for a Bitcoin ETF, either later this year or when I was looking for a decision in February?
Right. Well, number one, it's major damage to the chart. It's going to take a while to work this out, get higher lows and higher highs. Number two, how much damage to investors' psyche has this done in adoption? Or again, are we going to be, talking about this around the dinner table over the holidays, or are we going to be talking about, another subject? I think, it's just going to be a totally different attitude this year. I know I keep going back to last year, but that was kind of a big deal. Things were positive, things were moving up, no matter what coin you bought into, you were definitely in the green. And also I'm surprised if this price is really being manipulated and, consolidated and accumulated, it seems like the powers to be, whoever, back or whoever, Goldman Sachs, whoever, the whales supposedly collecting all of this, I'm surprised they weren't able to save the day, so to speak. Have a major rebound. I guess the sell-off wasn't that bad.
Well, I don't think the sell-off is over, Joe, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, that's true now. Yeah, it's beginning to fade right now as we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, just being honest. I know people get on me about they think I'm being pessimistic. No, I'm just being realistic. And if, you would have listened to me, not you, Joe, I'm saying just people, period.
Yeah.
Would have at least been able to save some of your ass. But I just think, you just got to be realistic. 2017 was an anomaly. That that's
exactly what I was going to call it. Yeah.
So we really don't want to. I personally am not going to reference 17 as the barometer for how crypto should act or will act in the future. I would look at more 16, 15. Again, I think personally, I told someone this earlier, that cryptos will still be the best performing asset class, in my opinion, if you look at it for the next 5 years, 10 years, without a shadow of a doubt.
Gotcha.
So
with everything coming online, and once all this can be forgotten and forgiven, once they get a little run going, and it's reinforces itself as a stable investment, and going back to what we talked about, you were talking about 16, 17, or 15, 16. See, some of us didn't have that opportunity. And I think the people that got in last year, even though I was like first quarter of last year, I was still scarred in a way psychologically about what happened between, September, October, the end of the year, because I keep on about it every time we talk. But so it definitely made an impression on me, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I know you're not going anywhere in the crypto space, but just imagine all the people who were just there for a quick buck. They're gone. They're not coming back anytime soon. And then what I really want to put an emphasis on, I still think is still in play, and why I think we may see another leg down possibly is this end of the year tax harvesting. You know, I think still people.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And after we talked last on the previous live stream, anyway, I started thinking about that. That's that's a good point. That's going to be that could be hitting now. Some people could be just saying, "Hey, let's go ahead and hit the button now." So you're right. Between now and the end of the year. And speaking of that, I was for next targets, and if we were in front of a live audience, I'd probably get rocks thrown at me. But one of those posts I put up under your live stream notification on Twitter shows the weekly chart since 2015.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that. I'm gonna pull your tweet up while you talk. Just give me a second. I think I have it queued in here somewhere. Let me
no problem.
Let me just find it.
And it shows the fib retracement. It's all just kind of gathered up right there. Just a couple of 100 points here and there at a round, but you'll be able to see that cluster of support. And I hate to say it, it's we're going to be in the high fours.
Yeah.
At some point.
And I gotta give a shout out to the Eclectic Soul. I think is the person. It looks like a female icon, their avatar on YouTube, but they've been calling this price 5,500 literally, Joe, since the beginning of this year. I don't know if
my gosh.
Yeah, I'm gonna find.
Creepy, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I'm gonna find that comment on, and he or she has posted it numerous times. But I gotta definitely give a shout out to him or her on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have one of your charts up here, Joe. It's showing the 3-day.
Yeah, that 47, and the reason being is I don't know if there should be one that goes to the left that you could see where that blue dash line is going to. I mean, it makes sense there, but there should be one that kind of shows you the whole picture.
Is that it?
And the reason being is that I'm real. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm really, really big. I mean, if some of the people in there have been looking at my legacy market, S&P 500, Apple, what else have I been throwing up there? Just a bunch of, the USO today, oil, all those charts. All those have been like spot on. And the reason being is that those low pivots, after they bounce, that's where money came in, institutions, whoever, in support of the price. They didn't let it go any lower.
Yeah, and if you look at this chart, sorry to cut you off, they've been supporting this. They've been supporting this line since February of this year.
Yeah.
March, right between. Looks like about February.
Yeah.
And so they've either run out of money to support it or something. That we're definitely, I agree with this chart here. And I knew that we had to make a decision up or down, and I did. I thought we would be heading lower, and I would say your target of, you've got it right, 47.23 looks like that probably will be the next
base or something.
Support area.
Right. So not that there's going to be, it's not going to go straight down there tonight or tomorrow, but
no,
there's going to be, some waves in there, some ability for people to, play the bounces, so to speak, and everything. Matter of fact, I just, right before you got me online, I played that bounce today and got stopped out right before I got on the line. So, we're not going to, in my opinion, Joe, we're not going to head straight to 47, as you stated. It's going to be a wave, Elliott wave. We're going to have an A, B, C, D, and then on the last D, we're going to head back down
and make newer lows, I think. So this could play out over weeks. You know, it doesn't have to.
Yeah. In the first quarter next year even. And if that high fours doesn't pan out, we could drop another 1,000. The next hard, solid support zone is at around that, mid 3,600.
Yep.
Probably 3,650, something like that. When I came in heavy last time. And what I don't understand, I guess right now the price doesn't matter to the alleged institutions in Wall Street. I mean, to me, this is a big psychological hit and marketing hit, to them opening up the new exchanges and trying to sell people to get in there and start churning and burning. But that's the only way they're going to make money is people in there gambling, So, obviously those guys are a whole lot smarter than me. So maybe they got to, they could care less about this. Time is on their side. They know the game. They know how it's going to end. So this is just a blip on the chart, so to speak, if you're looking at maybe this time next year.
Yeah, it is a blip on the chart, man. And like I said, people just need to, and I've been trying to get people to do this, adjust your expectations. Stop looking at 2017 as a reference point. It's not going to happen. Your alts are going to get slaughtered from here. So I'm not giving financial advice. My suggestion would be you move out of a lot of those alts, pick the really solid ones if you can. XLM, I think, is going to be good. BAT, EOS. There are a few. You got to do your research, but a lot of these tokens are going to go away. Just like no one knows what WorldCoin is, no one knows what Namecoin is. These are all the tokens that or the coins that made up the altcoin market back in the early 2013, 14, and they're nowhere to be found nowadays or today. So,
wow, okay,
people just definitely do your research on what altcoins you're going to hold because they're going to get slaughtered. A lot of them are just going to go away.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's very true. Very true. Man. Well,
I agree with your chart analysis here on those levels. I agree totally with those. That looks solid to me. 4,700. Yep, that looks good.
So really, right now, until the climate changes, it's just going to be a scalpers, swing traders, buy the dip and sell the rip market. You know what I mean? All the cliches.
I don't see any. Like I said, you go ask average Joe on, no pun intended. You go ask average Joe on the corner if they have Bitcoin, if they had Bitcoin, not even if they have it, if they ever had Bitcoin. No, they're gonna say no. They're gonna say no. So that's good and bad. That means that we still got a lot of people to get into the space, but most people don't even know about cryptos yet. We're kind of suffering from that normalcy bias. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. And case in point, I'll just go ahead and say I was at Bank of America 2 days ago, cashing a check, and there was one person, teller, at the window, and there was like 7 or 8 windows. I've been using that same location for a long time. There was a day that there was a teller behind almost every window. And here lately, it's just been one, Anyway, long line of people. Long story short, turned the guy behind me, and I said, this is why cryptocurrencies, and I named 2 or 3 of them, are going to, someday put these, businesses out of business, so to speak, and your bank's going to be on your phone. And then he said a couple of things, and then I talked about a little bit more cryptocurrencies, and everybody in that line, they were interested, but they were like wild-eyed looking at me like, what are you talking about? I kind of sort of
Exactly.
heard of Bitcoin. So we got a long way to go.
Yeah, we got a long way.
know?
We got a long way because again,
Yeah.
people, the sheeple are sheeple, and they don't even know what's wrong with the current monetary system. So
Exactly.
why the hell would they move to the new system that is going to be the future? I'm not negating that. It definitely will be the future, but why would they move to something they see nothing wrong with in the current existing infrastructure? So I do have someone else, Joe. I appreciate you calling in.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Yeah. Until next time.
Right quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
Go ahead.
quick,
Go
I
ahead.
just wanna
I'm
wish
sorry.
you-
Go ahead.
I just want to wish you and your family a great, thankful Thanksgiving. I know the country has a few issues, so to speak, but I don't know any other place in the world I'd rather live, and
Yeah, that's real
for
talk.
our families and health and stuff, and pray for those people out in California and all. They get all that straightened out. But
Yeah,
God
man.
bless all y'all. And
Yeah, same
Yeah.
to you, Joe. You've been an early supporter of my channel, and I really appreciate you
sir.
calling in, brother. Same to you.
oh, you got it. Thank you, sir.
All righty.
Bye bye.
All right. So before we get to the next caller, I see you in queue. Let me just say this, guys. You can get over to doing my shameless plug because I forgot to do it. I'm always forgetting to do it. CryptoBlood.io. I'll drop the link in the chat room as well. If you guys want to sign up for that BitMEX algo, it's live, 20% off until Friday. So get in there while it's a discount and enjoy this ride. You don't need much money. You can start off with $250, $500, whatever you want. It's in your own trading account, and the algo will trade it for you. So again, I'll put it in the chat room here in a second. But let me get to that next caller. Let's see here. It's your boy Crypto Blood.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's good?
Good stuff. This is John, man.
John Hill?
199 coming. Yeah, 199 coming, man.
Oh, man. Come on, Doc.
199 coming.
Ah, 199.
Just playing with you, man. But I was trying to tell people, man, like, there's a lot of new people came into space since 2017. Like the middle of 2017, I just didn't understand, just how crazy these markets can get. But
You've been so
looking-
John, you've been in this space for a minute, if I recall correctly.
yeah, since 2012.
Yeah, so
And in
you're
2012.
right there with me. So let's refresh and talk about 2012, 13, 14. Remember WorldCoin? Remember Namecoin? What's some other old school coins? List some of those old school coins real quick. Let's do an old school coin roll call.
Oh man, hey, is there like what was it? Was it like Prime Coin or something like that?
Yep,
Or,
Prime Coin. Yep. I remember Prime Coin.
There's
Red?
my memory is shot from that.
Red Coin?
Red Coin.
Is
Red Coin. Nah, I don't remember that one.
okay.
I remember you were talking about the Kanye coin, and
Kanye
there was another
coin.
coin the other day. I remember that, and he put a cease and desist for that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep. You got
There was
you got
There was
what's
a
my
lot.
man name? I just covered him. I'm drawing a blank for some reason. I follow him too. This is embarrassing. God. Ron Paul coin. Ron Paul coin.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that coin. I mean, those were interesting times, but I mean, honestly, at that time, I was mostly heavily into Bitcoin, because honestly, that was the only coin you could
Pizza
really
coin.
somewhat trade.
Yeah.
At that time, so I mean, there was Litecoin, all those other coins were still around, but the markets, the exchanges and stuff like that, it's definitely it's not like how it is now. It was very, very different.
Yeah.
I think Coinbase was around that time too.
No, Coinbase didn't. I don't remember Coinbase until like 14, late 13, 14, something like that.
It was early 13 because I remember I purchased a couple coins off of Coinbase, and they only had Bitcoin. It was the only coin they had listed on there.
Maybe it was 13. I didn't get onto it until like late 13 because I started trading on BTCE back then. Remember Vercorex? I don't know if you remember that.
Nah, I don't remember that one. I was mostly
Feathercoin. Wow.
Feathercoin, that's what it was. Yeah, that's still around. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's definitely still around.
Peercoin. Yep, I remember Peercoin.
Yeah, Peercoin. Yeah.
I say that to say, man, people are gonna be saying the same thing about a lot of these tokens. I'm telling.
I mean, Bitcoin Cash is one of them.
You think so?
They're gonna be like, you remember when it was? I think it's done, man. I think they're done unless they change their algorithm. I mean, Satoshi got the whole. He got the power. It seems like, unless it's all a pump fake. But if he's not pump faking anything serious, I mean, Bitcoin Cash is done. It's gonna go to zero.
Yeah. Wow. So here's the thing. I think, John, that's another catalyst for. That's one more bearish reason I have for this market not going any higher. I mean, people are panicking about this Bitcoin Cash fork. I think that's an issue right now. We got tax harvesting. Yeah, it's a few things fundamentally that I think the price is going to stay suppressed for some months now.
Yeah, no, I mean that destroys confidence in a lot of these projects, honestly, because most of the people that don't understand the technology or like the process like mining in those aspects, they're going to look at the situation like, well, if I have another proof of work coin, why can't this happen to the coin I'm invested in? So, I mean, this is a crazy time right now, but honestly, I didn't know what was going to be the catalyst to bring down the market. But you could just see, we had that extreme run up, and not to be cliche, but what goes up gotta come down, and it's coming down. I think it's going to take a few months to really situate things out, but I don't know, man. It ain't looking good.
So where do you think we end the year? I mean, no one knows. It's kind of stupid to ask the question, but I just like to get a gauge and see what people think.
I think around realistically, not my 199 price.
Yeah,
realistically, probably around 4,000, 3,500.
Okay.
That's what I'm. Maybe we'll be around that range, maybe a little bit higher.
Okay.
I just don't see unless something like the dollar starts collapsing or something like that. There has to be some black swan event that would make people run to the cryptocurrencies, and I just don't see it.
That correlation, that's crazy because that correlation. I don't think we're there yet. Like, we did have it. I don't know if you remember in 14 when we had the price of Bitcoin double because of Cyprus and that whole that thing. So we did double from that, but I think that was a lot of people, Russians, doing that, like buying Bitcoin, trying to get out of they were holding a lot of money over in Cyprus, hiding it over there. But I don't know if that was a true correlation. Like if the traditional markets looks at cryptocurrencies as a safe haven yet. I'm not too sure of that. And
this is why I called in, and this is like the point I wanted to make, honestly. because I know a lot of people are talking about mass adoption and stuff like that. And I have these conversations, with people, some of the time. And it's like, to me, the flaw with mass adoption, honestly, is the whole nature that this whole space goes around, with the ICOs, like having individuals like that don't understand the technology and don't understand like they don't understand, like you were saying before, they don't understand the system. So they don't understand this system. And to get in the system, you got to pay into the system.
Mm-hmm.
I think there won't be mass adoption, honestly, until there's like some type of project or some type of, entity that like makes the Weather coin widely available and creates some type of incentive to keep, to keep transactions going, to have people use the coin. I think until then, I really don't see there will be niches like, there might be certain games and like maybe certain platforms that will, gain in value. But until that, honestly, I don't see like mass adoption happening. I mean, you can have all the technology in the world, but if you're going to make somebody pay, a certain amount of dollars, then they don't even understand what the technology is, just to get in the space, it's a hindrance. So
yeah. Man, I talk to cats that are, that are in the traditional banking system all the time. They're not thinking about crypto like that. Like they're starting to, lay the groundwork, but I know very wealthy people that are not buying. They don't have any crypto. I'm talking about billionaires. They don't have any crypto. So that doesn't mean any. I mean, I'm not saying that's the barometer that we should go by, but I'm just saying the people that run the world, they're still running the traditional fiat system that we have to rely on every day. Until that changes, and it will change, but it will take many years. It's not an overnight thing. Even if we have a black swan, a scenario like that in the traditional markets, honestly, it's the safety haven is the dollar, the U.S. dollar. That's why the dollar is strong. It's been strong all year. It's been going up. And
unfortunately,
that's why gold and precious metals have gone nowhere, because dollar has been getting stronger. King dollar. So King dollar is back. And so again, it's just not going to happen overnight, man. It's not going to happen overnight.
Not at all. It's definitely not going to happen overnight. I mean, I guess I'm just going to go back to like the psychics and see what they say for, the next 6 months, and get my readings and things and like that. And hopefully they'll tell me some good news, but yeah, I'm just messing with you, but because that's your I just don't understand. What's so crazy about this whole space? There is so many scammers, man. There's like the scammers.
Bro, so many scammers,
man.
So many scammers, but they get all the views, and people go
all of them. They go crazy for them. Like, you can't tell them that they're wrong, but I understand, like, they're telling them what they want to hear, and people they've seen the run up, or they heard about the run up in 2017, and they, people are habits of creatures of habit. Sorry.
Here's the thing, bro. This is the crazy thing. If you were, I'm talking to just anyone out there, if you were to go online and see a person on YouTube and you're looking to buy stocks, right? I'm just going to use this as an example. You're looking to buy equities. Would you listen to a person that started trading equities a year and a half ago? No, you wouldn't. But that's what people are doing. They're listening to people that just got into crypto a year and a half ago or two, and everyone knows they're just pros. They know everything about crypto. So I said this earlier on Kirby Crypto. It was good that 2017 came, because or I should say 18, because it's really going to just revert everything back to the mean, and people will start to seek advice or at least get their information from people that really know what
At
they're
least
talking about.
Yeah, at least do due diligence. Like
At
the
least
people
do
were
due
just
diligence,
throwing money
right.
at anything.
Right.
It was
right.
it was crazy. It was mania. And
Yeah.
I mean, I sat back and I just watched it, and I just was like, this is going to pop at some point. I don't know when, but it's going to pop. But you know, at the beginning of the year when it did pop, and I was just like, that's when I was saying 199, because you really don't know. Like, you don't know when reality finally sets in, and you know, there's really actually a way to, you know, to assess the price of these coins. Like, it's so crazy. There's no way to assess the real price, the true price of these coins. It's all speculative.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All speculative. And many of the tokens are still well overvalued. They don't even if they have a product, right? They don't have the revenue to back the price where it's at. I mean, what other way am I supposed to put a valuation on the token? Like, if a company is making $300,000 a year off of their services that they, on the block, you know, that let's say they're ICO and they make $400,000 or $500,000 a year, but their valuation is at 300 million, 400 million. Come on now. Like, a lot of these coins are still overvalued, and they will be the world coins of yesterday. I got to take this other caller, man.
All right, man.
I appreciate it. All right,
man.
It's your boy Crypto Blood. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, what's going on, Crypto Blood? How you been, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Long time listener, first time caller, as they say.
Okay. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, man. But I was just to touch up on what your guy was saying earlier about the mass adoption. I was talking about that with a friend of mine earlier, and you know, if it doesn't get easier for, you know, people that aren't like techies and stuff like that, do you think, you know, it will get mass adoption? Like, these developers, I get it, they're working on the project, but how can we make it more easier for the mass adoption to come in is the question.
Yeah, that's true, man. And you know, even my beloved EOS, still hard to utilize it, man. You got to download Scatter and install a plugin and do all this and that. So even my, you know, best blockchain that I would tell someone to go to is still not there. We're still not there. So until that happens, it's not gonna happen.
Seriously, because I mean, I had a friend over. And I was in the middle of doing some trades, and you know, it was a couple months ago. I can't even remember what coin it was, and I had to go to IDEX, you know, get the ETH, send it to IDEX, and then send the coins to my MetaMask. And I forgot to add the token to MetaMask, and I was about to send, and you know, it was going to go to nowhere, basically. So, you know, that's kind of scary to know that, you know, And one thing that you mentioned about EOS, and they're saying about it's not a blockchain because of the reversibility type of thing. What's your debate on that?
I think it's bull. I think that's absolute bull. Right? The criteria they use for that would mean that if they place that same notion, that same criteria on Bitcoin, it would be they would have to say Bitcoin is not a blockchain then too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with you then, because that's kind of going to help, you know, the average Joe Schmo, like you're saying, to if he does make a mistake, there could possibly be a way to get that back. Correct? If I'm understanding, is that what they're trying to do over at EOS? If there's an issue like that?
No, that wasn't the thing. It was something. It was more of a technical thing about the deterministicness of, if that's even a word, of the finality of the blocks or something like that, and how it's done, where Ethereum is done this way, where it's something. But that's what that white block report was about.
Okay.
Now what you're talking about is still something that people bring up, like, well, you can reverse a block. Well, it's just, first of all, no one person can just go in and reverse a block. It has to go through their ECAF, their organization where you can submit it, and then all 21 have to have consensus on it and stuff, so it's a process for that to happen. And you do need that. And if you're going to be using a blockchain that the world is using, mistakes are going to happen, hacks are going to happen, things are going to happen, and you need some window where that can be reversed.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you on that. That has to happen.
Yeah, it's not. So there are different blockchains for different things. We don't want our coins, our currency, to have that ability. So yeah, we like Bitcoin and how the proof of work algorithm works there, and you can't reverse stuff, and it's slow and challenging and all that. That's cool. But when it comes to like building dApps and applications that are going to be used across the world, there has to be some flexibility there, in my opinion. I think that they're going in the right direction with that.
I feel you. I feel you on that. I mean, the tribalism is definitely real with these coins and these projects. Another
horrible
thing I wanted to touch, it is. It's like, why does it have to be just one? Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah, it's just so the most retarded thing ever. And people gonna pump what they have in their bag. Flat out. That's just human nature. You're not gonna pump a coin or a project that you don't hold and won't benefit from. So,
that's why I've been staying so quiet on Twitter and everything, because all they do is like, the shilling is real, the hate is real, like
it's a toxic. 2017 has made this space very toxic, man, and it's retarded, and I really hate the way it wasn't really like that when I first got into crypto. Like, people clicked up, everybody had their own coins and so on and so forth, but it wasn't like it is today, where people hate each other because they don't own the coin that the other person does, or whatever.
Exactly.
So
now that you mentioned 2017, and with all the drama going on with BCH, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I read earlier a couple hours ago, from Fake Toshi. He said in a tweet, he said in 2017 there was a major issue with Segwit, right? And he's saying in mid to late 2019 he will explain it. What do you think is going to happen? He says it cannot be removed, it can't be fixed, it's not solvable, and you cannot work around it. Like, what is he, like, I saw the interview he did with Tone Vase, and he's basically saying, I'm out to get you, basically. He's like, I'm coming for your throat, in other words.
We're talking about Roger Ver?
Yeah, Roger Ver and Dr. Craig Wright. Dr. Craig Wright said that shit, the major issue with Segwit, and he's gonna reveal something to mid to late 2019. He'll explain. He said, "Did you see that from him?" I mean, I
didn't see it. I don't follow Craig. No, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I don't
follow him either. It just popped up on my news.
That's
feed.
interesting. And so that's man. I don't know, man. Like, so Segwit is on Bitcoin too.
Exactly. He said, like, I got this in front of me. So this was posted 6 hours ago. So I'll read to you what
read verbatim what it says.
Yes. Well, in 2017, I said there was a major issue with Segwit. In mid to late 2019, I will explain it. It cannot be removed. It cannot be fixed. It is not solvable, and you cannot work around it. Sorry, you are allowed core to kill BTC. I did and try and stop you. Right?
Yeah.
He's going off
so
the
he's
rails,
talking about BTC. He's not even talking about Bitcoin Cash. I mean,
right.
I've said this, man, for almost a year now. Like, Core has definitely hijacked Bitcoin, man, and
I
Bitcoin,
know that you've been leaning towards more of BCH as far as the original what it was purposed to do. I've been following you, so I feel you, and I know that you come from a logical point of view. You're not shilling nothing, and you're not like these influencers who be like putting these prices, XRP going to 200 tomorrow and shit like that. Like, that's why I follow you, because you're a humble dude and you keep it real.
Yeah, so that doesn't just because
wrecked from these influencers.
Yeah, she probably will, but and it doesn't mean I'm right all the time either. But what I want to say about the Bitcoin thing, Bitcoin Cash thing, is that just because I think that Bitcoin Cash is more so what Satoshi's vision was for Bitcoin, doesn't mean I like Roger Ver though.
Right, so right. No, I get it.
Yeah, Roger Ver is.
How can you like him with how he's acting and stuff?
That's what I'm saying. His strategy in promoting Bcash is horrible. Like, it's the worst thing ever.
I saw the interview with Charlie Lee. I'm like, Charlie Lee, just slap this dude, please, for the whole crypto community.
Bro, I could not sit and talk with Roger Ver. I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
We'd
well, thanks, man, for taking my call, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'll definitely be touching up and following back with you, brother.
No doubt.
You need to do a lot more. You know what I mean?
I will. Make sure you hit that like button. I don't do them too often because people don't even jump on. People don't jump on.
What's up with your boy? That you guys are doing the interviews together. I really can't remember his name now.
Nick from Truth Bliss.
True Bliss.
He's taking.
What's going on?
He's taking the hiatus, man. Taking care of the family. So hopefully, I'm gonna reach out to him maybe after the new year and see where his head is on things, and hopefully we can get back into the swing.
Where can I find that beat on the intro, man? I need that for the playlist.
I didn't make that one. Yeah, I didn't make that one.
Okay.
That joint's hard.
Is it on any SoundCloud or anything?
It was on YouTube, but it was shortly taken down after we ripped it and had my man, what's my man name? Rap News or Crypto Rap News did the track. They actually rapped on it. Crypto. I forgot his name. On Twitter, but.
All right, buddy, man. Well, good luck and God bless us all, because we're going to need it in this bloodbath, man.
Yep. All right, brother. Thank you for calling.
Have a good night.
Holla. All right, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
What's up, Crypto Blood? It's Steve.
Steve-O. What's going on?
Oh, it's just freezing. I was walking my dog. I was going to call you outside, but it's like 32 degrees out here.
Yeah, it's cold. It's about 30 degrees up here too, man.
It's as cold as the Bitcoin market.
You're right. right.
Yeah, your last caller, they're talking about that, Dr. Craig, right, whatever. He might be the most toxic person in the whole space. Not only is
he's crazy too. I think he's crazy too.
Well, he'd have to be crazy. He's batshit crazy. I don't have any other words to describe him. But after he goes after Bcash, what your last caller was saying, like he wants to try to kill Bitcoin, which good luck to you. But about like you guys talking about like the negativity, on Twitter and it is just brutal, absolutely brutal, just everywhere. It's a total tribalism. I guess the Civil War, just like technically started, but it's felt like the Civil War for a long time now. So, Tone Vays has a guy. He's an older gentleman. I'm just gonna guess he's like 60. He doesn't do, like Elliott Wave. Like he does something called hyperwave. Like that's his area of expertise, and I can't explain it like he can. But he says, according to the hyperwave theory, if this week plays out the way it's been playing out, he says that we're going to $1,000.
Oh God.
Yeah, like that's what he said. Like there's no way around it. And like he's like, like it might take a year, so we might have some good times, but when he explained it, according to the hyperwave theory, like he said, out of 350 examples, once these levels, were broke, they always go to where he's saying, and Tone didn't agree, but I mean,
yeah, I would
said anywhere
say
from 2,000 to 4,000.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I would say I would disagree with 1,000. I think that's extremely low.
It is extreme.
I think if there is no technical shortcomings with Bitcoin, meaning some cataclysmic bug found. I don't know what the hell Craig Wright is talking about with SegWit. He's going to explain in 2019. If there's nothing like that, then I don't see it going to 1,000.
Well, I mean, to me, it's all like irrelevant anyways. I mean, I was just giving you like a different point of view, because, usually like you just hear like TA. That's what I was just kind of telling you, like about like this hyperwave theory. I mean, there's only one way to find out. We will see, but I mean, it's probably going to get rough. I mean, it's stated at that Bitcoin itself is stated at that $100 million market cap for a long time. You know what I mean? It's been, it's been sitting there, but like you were talking about earlier, tons of crap coins. I mean, some are going to die, I would assume, if we keep dropping, obviously.
Majority, Steve, majority.
Oh, no. I mean, I know. I mean, like most coins, in my opinion, except Bitcoin, is going to have huge liquidity problems here. So,
sure. Yep.
I mean, it's going to get real.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to get real. Like, I got this guy at my work I got to tell you about. And, like, I kind of feel bad, but I kind of don't, because I got him into crypto a while ago. But he is, and I've explained it to him, like, what to do, what not to do. Like, he just can't help himself. He is the ultimate panic seller. He does it. Like, he's done it, like, 4 times. Like, he keeps buying Bitcoin or Litecoin, and then, like, the price, like, I'll use Litecoin, like, for an example. Like, it'll be, went from $60 to $50, and then, like, he sold from 60 to 50, and he bought back in at 50, because, like, oh, it's the bottom. And then, like, he just bought back in at 50, and, like, I text him today, I'm like, hey, you see the market? 'Cause I know he's going to sell. So he just keeps selling. He just keeps selling and losing all his money and buying back in. And, like, it's just kind of funny. Like, I mean, like, just weird to me, like, that these people are out there. I mean, these people, this is a tough business right now, right? Like, if you're not really into it, and if you're, like, if you don't believe in it and you're just a pure speculator, I mean, people are already wrecked, but I have a feeling they're about to get real wrecked.
Yeah, I think they're going to get really wrecked, man. I just want.
Well, basically, anyone who's got in the last year and a half, if they haven't already taken a massive loss, I mean, if you drop down to, I don't know, like what you're saying, 4,700, like around there?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the line you guys were talking about?
Yep, 47.
I mean, there's probably a lot of professionals, who got clients that are about to get wrecked here, so...
hey,
a long time.
You know what? Thank you for bringing that up, Steve. That's another aspect that I have not talked about, which are redemptions. Okay, hedge fund redemptions in the crypto space. It's happening in the equities as well, but hedge fund redemptions, you're probably going to start seeing that happen at the end of this year too. People are wanting their money back. It's been a year now. They can get their money back. You're going to see selling from that too. So there's like 3 different points here that people need to kind of just keep in the back of their head that may cause more pressure to the downside.
Well, like, that's what I mean. Like, these hedge funds, like, they are going to be forced to sell. Like, they are going to be forced to sell. Like,
yes.
And they don't have an option.
And at any price too, because
right.
they have to return the funds to the client.
Right. They're probably going to get fired, and they're definitely going to sell. So, like, it's just going to get nasty.
Yeah, they're going to close down. A lot of hedge funds are going to close down this year. Some have already done it. They're going to be doing redemptions and closing down, my friend. So.
Oh, it's just going to get brutal. Like, and then like all these projects, like who, like they've been selling, like just to keep their, project afloat, like assuming the ones that are actually like legit, which I don't even know how many that is, 30, 40 of them maybe, I got no idea, but I mean, most of them are just, I have no idea what they're doing, but I mean, like they're going to be forced to sell and slow down. And like, I mean, I don't know, like if you're like a big altcoin guy, like, best of luck to you.
Yeah, altcoins are going to get slaughtered, man. I'm sorry. Slaughtered. And
like depending how low we go, a lot of these could just straight up go. I mean, I don't know how many there are, close to 2,000. I mean, I don't know what's going to be left. I mean, like, at 4,700 or, or whatever, I mean, maybe not, yet, but like if this draws down to the, $2,000 or $3,000 range, it's just going to be brutal in the media. I mean, not like I care about the media, but I mean, like that's just one more.
No, you have to pay attention to that. I was watching CNBC earlier. They're like, and the Dow's down 200 points. Bitcoin's down below break 6,000. Like they just threw that in there real quick. I'm like, really? Really, you just gotta hit us in the side with that, right?
Well, I mean, a capitulation is going to come. A lot of people thought that, it was already capitulated, but I mean, like I just can't express it enough. Like I think real pain is coming, and hodling's going to be put to the test for a lot of people. Some ain't going to be able to stick through. I mean, like, can you imagine buying any coin? Say Bitcoin. Like even if you bought in at 10 grand, you're like, oh, 10 grand. That's, even 5 grand. Like, I mean, like, oof. It's going to get brutal.
Hodlers,
I'm looking forward to
people
it.
say they're hodlers, and no, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
People ain't hodlers.
Yeah, well, you're going to
man.
find out. You're going to find out who's a hodler and who thinks they are.
Well, people aren't a hodler. I said this before in one of my videos. Hodlers were people who bought Bitcoin and you couldn't sell it. You had no choice but to hold it because there was no exchange. You could maybe do a local Bitcoin, and sell there, but there was no real market to sell. You were just hodling because you believed in the technology. Nowadays, nah, people aren't hodling because if it goes to 1,000, like you said, they're gonna sell at the bottom, and then it's gonna go up, and they're gonna look stupid.
Yep.
So,
but you're talking about adoption here, and I mean, we keep talking about this like we are so far away. I mean, like just making it through this, this bear market. I mean, like depending how it goes here, like this could drag for 6 more months. This could drag for a year, maybe if things get brutal. Hopefully not, but I mean,
like
I can't even think about adoption.
If we don't see this ETF, which I am not confident we will. I do not see ETF coming now in February of this 2019. That's, to me, that's the last fundamental, like, actual news event that we can, like, quantify that will push the markets up. Other than that, it's just going to be adoption of cryptos through the institutional channels, which like Backed and Coinbase and stuff like that, which is, to me, going to take a longer time.
Years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you talk about retail, I mean, I can't even see one thing like that would make, any group of, average retail people, want to come in. I mean, the whole momentum would have to change. I mean, we can't have like doom and
this
gloom.
Guy,
thinking people are going to come in.
This guy, I don't know how you say your name, bro. Grado Muti. He said that John McAfee is in trouble. Yes, he definitely is in trouble right now with this, where Bitcoin is in price.
Yeah, well, the problem is there's no way to hold him to that as much as I'd like to see it.
Nah, he's not.
I'm just kidding.
Hold him to it.
No, I know. But, yeah, like I think that people got ahead of themselves, with excitement, but, there's a long way to go here. Just, years. This could, like I said, I'm just thinking about time frames ahead of us. Like we got a long ways to go.
And I don't know if you saw my interview with the quick interview I did with Charlie Lee. Did you see that?
Yeah. It was like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was like about 2 minutes.
2-minute clip or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, he reaffirmed my thoughts about cryptos and where we are with things, man. He said 50 years, 20 to 50 years to where we see cryptos kind of leveling out and the price,
right,
becoming more stable. And I have to agree with him, man. It's all speculative at this moment. It's not about the technology. It's not about anything of that nature. It's all speculation. And with that being said, the price can be the price. The price is going to be the price if it's all speculation. The price is going to be the price. So, Litecoin
he's absolutely right, though. He's absolutely right. Like we talked about before, like no one's going to spend it when in a year or 2 years it's going to be worth 100% more. Like you'd be a fool to spend it. So it has to be around for a long time, be a store of value for a long time, and then to the point where it has such a large flow of money, a market cap or whatever, that then it's not a big deal to spend, right? Mm-hmm. Or how you talk about like the stable coins, like the best technology, that means nothing in this space. At least I don't think it does. It helps obviously in certain areas.
But it doesn't. It doesn't. If the market ends up looking at Bitcoin and Litecoin, whatever coin, as a speculative asset, then the underlying tech that gives it its competitive advantage no longer matters, because we don't care about that. All we care about are the speculative aspect of it, support lines, resistance, trends, and all of that stuff. So
I would say right now that a name value, brand name, is more important than technology. I don't care what any coin can do. Bitcoin is a name brand. Like it is. Yes. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was there before Pepsi. Mm-hmm. Main Street people only know Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Like technology does not matter in this market, like you said.
Yep, I agree.
It's great and all that, but right now it's just name recognition and who can survive and who's going to be there. That's all it is. Especially open source. Being fast isn't as important when it's open source. People can steal your technology in most cases.
Well,
so.
Yeah, it's again, if it is about the tech, then it at that point it's all about critical mass and how you get adoption. That's why I kind of like Digibyte, and what's the other one? God, I'm drawing a blank. But those types of coins where they were going from the bottom up, they were trying to help people get in from the bottom up, going to Venezuela, getting adoption.
Dash.
Yes, Dash.
Dash went down there.
So that's cool. I think that would be a great way to gain adoption. But again, with the advent of these stable coins, I think people will still use those types of coins.
Far more valuable.
But yeah, they'll be more valuable. But at the end of the day, they're going to probably use, on a daily basis, they're going to use the stable coins to purchase goods and services, and then just either be paid in crypto like Bitcoin, right, and stash their wealth in Bitcoin.
Well, if you're a poor man in a third world country or a place that's torn apart by war, half of the world, you can't afford what happened today. Like, you can't afford a 15% drop, okay? Like, that could be the difference. And people who really need this technology, that could be the difference between eating and not eating all day long. You know, feeding your kids, staying warm, you know, getting clean water. So, you know.
Yep. Randy Ripley says here, he says, I'm sorry, dollar does not make it another 50 years. Cryptos and PMs will take over before then. So here's the thing.
Probably.
I don't think that the dollar that we know today will last another 50 years. Absolutely not. But you better believe that system, the central banks are going to move the goalposts, create another crypto, not a crypto, but create another fiat that's probably crypto, a crypto fiat type of combination, and just continue to kick the can down the road. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Like, what he's talking about here is like, you know, 10, 15, 20 years, of course, cryptocurrency is going to be popular, but these two systems are going to run side by side. And like, they're going to run side by side until they can no longer kick the can down the road. So sure, you know, it might take 10 years. You know, 50 is probably more realistic than 10. And it's just going to be a slow process. Like, it's just going to be a slow process. You know, with these emerging markets crisis and all the problems that we had, that's not going away. So he is correct, like, by saying a black swan event could come and force a certain geographical area of the world to have to adopt crypto. That's very possible.
See, I don't know if you follow Jim Willie, because I kind of go with his theory on that particular case, and which is they're going to create a second currency. They meaning like the U.S. right? We'll have two currencies, one domestically and then one international. Probably the international one will be the new one, okay, and then the domestic one will be the one that we currently use today. So I can see something like that, but they are listen. I used to believe that too, man. In 2008, when I started going down this rabbit hole, finding out what the monetary system really was, and you know, reading Jekyll from the Creature from Jekyll Island and all this stuff, I thought I didn't think we would be here today. I thought we would be in a totally different world. But what I've come to realize is that this system is way too big for it to just crumble overnight. It's way too big to just crumble in 1 year. It is way too big to just crumble in 5 years. Our livelihoods depend on this corrupt system. So
I know,
you know, it's not going to fall. I used to think it was, but it's not going to fall the way that that many people today think will. And a lot of these people out here use fear porn and make you think that it's going to be collapsing tomorrow, next week, next year, and to buy precious metals and cryptos and you'll be all set. Nah.
If the average fiat currency is both, you know, lasted like 30 years, we'll say. I mean, the American dollar is going to last by far the longest. There's no doubt about that. It's a world like reserve currency. Currently, obviously, like you know, like it's the petrodollar. You know, like if you're talking about, you know, these other countries, I mean, like sure, like absolutely, but like the American empire and the American dollar will be the last one to fall for sure.
I think so.
Like they. Well, it has to. It's a world reserve currency. I mean, they can't just be like, oh, by the way, the whole world economy no longer works because, you know, the shit would. I couldn't even imagine that. I mean,
like I said, it's going to transition into something else that they've created. It's not going to transition into something they don't control. Just like we got to use common sense, and so. That's what for many years I was kind of on that camp of like, it's precious metals are going to take over and we're going to have a real sound money and they're going to be forced to, no, it's not happening. They're going to roll into something like.
I'm still scared to have a 401k though. I mean, I'm 33, you know what I mean? So like when I think about like my retirement and I think about our debt, like sure, like I still have that doubt, like, sure, like, will the dollar be there? Sure, but it keeps losing value. I mean, how much value, like if I save $100,000 this year, how much value is that going to be in 40 years? Is it going to be half of that? Because then it's a waste of my time to have a 401k. Especially with the market.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. They're gonna. Someone just said in the chat room, the government fiat, government cryptos are a real concern, and they are. That is the next evolution for them. They will just issue a government-backed fiat crypto. That's what's coming.
Yeah.
He mentioned someone mentioned about counterfeiting is an issue. It is an issue, and you can definitely eliminate counterfeiting with blockchain.
I feel like the lucky people will have like the real cryptos, right? Some people that's like debatable, like what the best ones are, but like I'll just say, Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum or whatever. But like I think other people are gonna, they're like in my opinion, they'll probably be worth so much because it's a open financial system. But the other people who don't want 0.000 2% of a Bitcoin, well, of course they're going to have to use the government currency. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin, my opinion, is going to be here. It is the open financial system for the whole world, and I don't know. Shit's just crazy. Shit's gonna hit the fan eventually. I mean, we're $20 trillion in debt. That's
just insane, bro. It's insane. And again, I'm not saying the current system is sustainable. It is not. Mm-mm. It is dying before our eyes. It started dying in 1930. Whatever.
No one knows how it's gonna play out.
No one knows how it's gonna really play out. But best believe they are not just gonna take it sitting down. Like they're gonna create another system, another parallel system to make all the sheeple run into next, man. It's just
well, they are already like creating that, because I think I told you before, like on YouTube, it's called Fed Faster Payments. It's a YouTube channel straight from the central banks, and they're just talking about basically using blockchain like technology, and they talk about Ripple a lot and stuff like that. I mean, of course they're going to try. Obviously, you know what I mean? Like, they're not just going to be like, oh, shit, we lost. No. It's going to change. Like, the financial system is going to change, and it is changing right now. How long it takes for all this to play out, I could be an old man by the time it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it could,
when you say done, what does done look like? What does done look like to you?
I don't even know. Quite honestly, a financial system's playing out and changing over. There's so many layers there. I guess I don't really have a good answer for that. Done. I guess I just don't have a clear answer for that. I guess right now you could almost transact without the current financial system. Not really, but you have. We send money across the world, but I don't know what done is.
Yeah,
that's way above my pay grade. What done is.
Well, Steve-O, I appreciate the call in as always, bro. You're one of the main supporters of my live streams, and I just want to tell you, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy the show. So you have a good night.
All right, take care.
Good night, brother.
All right, people. I've been going at it for about an hour and a half now. If you want to call in, call now. This is your chance to give a call in and speak your mind about this bloodbath that we've got going on right now. The number is 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. Call me up if you want to chat. I appreciate everyone in the chat rooms. Make sure everyone please hit that like button. That will greatly help me out. And it's been crazy. It's been crazy night. I thought that this would go this way, not up but down, and this is where we are. This is what we have to deal with. And if you're truly in this game and you want to probably make some money, you're going to have to get more active about managing your funds in crypto. You're going to have to start doing your research. As I was telling Joe, he put together these wonderful charts here. But I was telling him, we have to let 2017 go. That was an anomaly. Do not use that as a basis for future performance with cryptocurrencies. But I do think cryptos will still be the best performing asset class in the next 10 years, without a shadow of a doubt. So that's pretty much it. Let me see if I have anyone else on the line. Nope, I don't. So we're just gonna wrap up for tonight. Just want to say again, thank you to everyone for tuning in, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.